And we're back with another video. Now I know what you're thinking. You read the title, Double Dragon. And yes, this is the best Double Dragon lineup, but we're going to go with the second best. Tonight, we've got Dragonite running the moveset Dragon Breath, Dragon Claw, Outrage. We're going to be pairing that up with Empoleon. Now, the moveset for Empoleon, recently added last season, was Drill Peck, which is really super handy move, and running it with Waterfall and Hydro Cannon for the fast move damage. And our third mon that we're going to be using today is Kingdra. Super underrated Pokemon, this one. Dragon Breath, Octazooka for that debuff, and Outrage for the nuke. Let's get into the games. First game, starting now. Alright, so we've got SCAV on the lead. Not bad to see it now because our Empoleon certainly wouldn't want to see it. It would cause all sorts of trouble. Now, it's a bit of a tricky matchup. Generally what I like to do is throw the Dragon Claw early because then they know it's a Dragon Claw and they've got that steel typing, so they don't shield. And what happens is if they don't shield, that means you can win the matchup just with the oppressive Dragon Breath sort of wearing them down. So you can just shield once and then farm down. So we're just going to let that one go and then look at shielding the second move here and then farming down with Dragon Breath, and then we'll have some energy going to the next matchup, and we've got Switch, which is really handy. So let's see what comes in next. So we'll throw the move here, try and get the other shield. Don't get it, it's Ampharos, which is a bit annoying, but what we're going to do is go into Kingdra because we don't really want to get farmed down. Again, the Dragon Breath's doing a lot of damage here. Thunder Punches are neutral. They do hit kind of hard. As you'll see here, it's sort of like a third maybe, but we just need to get rid of this thing. Empoleon does not want to see this thing alive, so we're just going to try and get it out of here. I may or may not shield this, and they don't, which is probably good, and it's Charizard in the back. So this is going to be tricky. This will be a Dragon Claw, which will KO the Kingdra, and then we've got the Dragonite, and the Empoleon, look, because he's got a shield, we're just going to have to fast move down here, but he's going to get to a move, but we've managed to swap on the move, which was the goal there, and the Blast Burn goes through on Dragonite, and then we just come back in and fast move down, and they've quit. So yeah, not a bad switch there. In the second game here on the lead, it's the Mirror. The IVs on mine are pretty poor. I generally lose CMP, and I've lost CMP here. That typically happens, but for some reason the defense on mine must be pretty good because I can generally overall fast move down and just beat them with a bit of energy. So neither of us will get to a Dragon Claw here, and unfortunately on this occasion I've lost, but normally I win, so I like to stay in there, but let's see if losing Switch has a big impact. Look, that Waterfall should mean here that we can get to the Hydro Cannon just before the SCAV gets to the Drill Run. We'll switch out now, and we've caught the Drill Run on the Kingdra, which is really good. Takes off about half. It would have KO'd the Empoleon, so it takes off about half. We won't shield there. Now, what we'll do here is we'll look to just probably get the Octazooka off and then get into the next matchup. So we've shielded there. Bit of extra farm, just a tiny bit. Don't want to risk it. Get the Octazooka off here, which will KO. And now we've got basically Dragon Breath beatdown. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup. This will be a Hydro Cannon. Now, most Swampets run Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave. If this one does, we should win. If it runs Earthquake, we're stuffed, and that looks like an Earthquake, so I'd say we've lost this one. So a bit unlucky. Most people would not be running that moveset, so a rough loss there. All came down to losing that lead on the Dragonite. Here, bit of a neutral lead. The confusion damage is pretty heavy, but these Dragon Claws do take off a fair bit, and just the oppressive Dragon Breath, I mean, it's such a busted move, but on Gallade it's pretty fragile, so he'll get a move off here, likely to be a Leaf Blade. Synchronoise, that's pretty rare to see. Anyway, he swapped on the move here, so that was pretty good. He wants to conserve the Gallade. It might come in handy for him later. Little does he know, it probably won't. Now, on the Switch, being a Fire type, we've gone into Kingdra. Now, this will be a Blast Burn, but we'll shield it anyway. Blast Burn is a really strong move, and even water types will get hit pretty hard by it. So we'll just shield there and farm all the way down. So we've got energy, and in they bring a Venusaur. We'll throw the Outrage here, see if they shield. They probably will, but then shields are down now, which is very handy for us. And they're going to have to throw a move here to get us, and we'll get to the Octazooka. So some good chip damage, and just the Dragon Breaths just really whittling it down. And it got the debuff on the attack. Now that debuff's about a 50% chance, I believe, and that's perfect for us. We can now come in with the Empoleon, I would have, or even the Dragonite, it doesn't really matter here. So we're coming with the Empoleon, we're going to wear the move, the Frenzy Plant, won't KO, won't even near KO, and then we might just switch into the Dragonite, which we do. They saw that coming and swap as well, or they were planning to swap as well, but we've managed to farm down the Gallade, and we've got a Dragon Claw waiting for this Venusaur in the back, so pretty well played there, pretty well managed on energy wise. And as you can see, that Dragon Breath damage, the fast move damage, is just oppressive. Into the next game, Obstagoon, another matchup that Empoleon definitely wouldn't want to see, and it is a little bit tricky for Dragonite here too. You'll see how much a Night Slash does, and the Obstagoon outpaces the Dragonite to the moves. So see what they do here. Probably be about a similar, yeah. So you can see the Night Slash and the Dragon Claws do similar damage, but the Dragon Breath really is quite oppressive. So we'll shield here. Look to put more pressure. Oh, they got the boost on that move there, so they're definitely going to shield this. So we'll throw it, they'll shield, and then we'll look to try and pressure them to throw the move, which they do. Now they've only got a small amount of health left, so we'll just come with the Kingdra and get rid of it, because we don't want any boosted counters hitting our Steel type. And Tangrowth comes in. Now this isn't amazing. Tangrowth, it's very versatile. It's got a grass move and a rock move, so it's just, and it gets to its moves pretty quickly too, so it's a very versatile Pokemon. So what we're going to do is try and bait here, and we get the shield, which is what we need, and their attack fell, so they've swapped out because their attack fell. Now Empoleon's pretty hopeless against the Tangrowth, so we're going to bring it in here. Now this is a bit tricky. We actually are going to try and lose this matchup. So we're not going to throw, you see we had the Hydro Cannon there, we didn't want to throw that, because what we need to do here is farm down this Charizard. This will be Dragon Claw, but it won't KO. What we're aiming to do here is farm this all the way down, so we can have an Outrage ready for the Tangrowth. So we just got there in time, and this Outrage should KO, or a Dragon Breath or two afterwards. No, that KO. So just good presence of mind there to know sometimes you actually need to lose a matchup, especially if shields are down, just so you can get a jump start on energy. Wouldn't have won that if I'd thrown the Hydro Cannon. Alright, another Gallade lead here. As we saw in the last game, they generally, sometimes they stay in, but yeah, they've swapped out here, which is good for us, because drawing out this electric type and keeping it away from the Empoleon is super important. So because we had a head start on energy, we'll throw the Dragon Claw, and then what we're going to do is go into Kingdra. The reason we're going to go into Kingdra here, it's slightly got a worse matchup against Gallade, because the Leaf Blades hit slightly harder than they would against Dragonite. So we just thought we'd switch there. We're still trying to be oppressive with the Dragon Breath damage. And the Octazooka here, Amphirises generally like to shield. Pity we couldn't quite get to the move before they throw, but they generally like to shield, so the debuff and the shield here would be really handy. Either that or they let it go, and one of the most threatening Pokemon this team can see is gone. Yep, so they haven't shielded, and we should be able to farm down here. They got the debuff, which is always handy. Now, what are they going to bring back in here? You'd think the Gallade. Similar situation for the Gallade though. It's so fragile that we'll get to the Octazooka here, and it has to shield. Even if it is pretty sure it's an Octazooka, that'll take off a fair bit of health. So they'll shield here because they've got energy and they want to protect it, and they do. And we get the attack debuff again. So it almost allowed us to farm just about all the way down there. But what it also means is any moves that throws now, yep, and they've swapped out to get rid of their debuff, which is pretty predictable. They've gone into a Bomber Snow, and that's great because now Dragonite gets to avoid that. It's still a bit of a tricky matchup because Energy Balls will hit the Empoleon pretty hard, and they've gone for one now, but what that means is we can get a drill peck off here, and drill peck won't KO. It should get it down to at least sort of 2/3 damage done, and yeah, it does. A little bit more, probably 3/4. And what we're going to do here is an energy ball won't KO, so we're going to try and waterfall down. If we can waterfall down, that means we'll have a move ready to go on the Gallade in the back, which would be super handy. But at the very least, what we're trying to do there is pressure the Gallade to throw its energy straight away as soon as it comes in. If it does that, that pretty much leaves the Dragonite a good enough time to farm down. Now it wins CMP, which was unfortunate. We could have KO'd there. He knew he had to throw straight away. This will be a Leaf Blade, and it is. Now, he's got a lot of energy. He should get to the move before the Dragonite, but Leaf Blade won't do enough, and Close Combat will do more damage, but it'll debuff him, and it's not very effective. So he'll get farmed down here because with the debuff, his defense drops, and the Dragon Breath is just going to farm him down. So we did well there. Alright, next game, absolutely horrible lead. Almost insta-loss for this team, it's its one weakness. But they've swapped there when I've swapped, and they've gone into their other fairy. So they've basically just told me they've got a double fairy team, and by switch locking themselves like that, they've actually given me a chance to win this game. Now, it may not seem like it because they've won switch and they'll be able to control things, but what we can do here with Empoleon is farm this all the way down. Now, if you've got two fairies in your team, you're incredibly weak to steel types. And that probably means here that their third Pokemon is going to be a fighting type, probably Machamp. And sure enough, Machamp comes in. So what we can do here, because the timer is almost up, is throw one move, and then we can go into Dragonite. Now, they're going to go into their fairy. What we can do here, and what we need to do, is Dragon Breath and get all the way up to what we think might be a Hurricane, so as much as we can. So we're going to throw the Outrage here, and we're going to bluff them into thinking this is a Hurricane, so they shield. And they do, which is absolutely perfect for us. So what we do now is they're switch locked. They can't leave this matchup and get them a champion, and we're going to farm this all the way down. We've got two shields. They'll probably get to two flamethrowers, or they've thrown the aerial ace there. They'll get to a flamethrower here, but we've got another shield. And to be honest, if the Machamp gets to a move, it's all over anyway. So the goal here is they've only got one shield. And yep, they've thrown the Machamp in. We've got two moves here, and they've only got one shield. And this will knock it out if they don't shield. So Drill Peck goes through. The second one's going to go through now because we farmed up all that energy. And that gets rid of the Machamp. Absolutely perfect. And then what we can do is farm down the Togekiss here, which is what happens. So, yeah, a double Dragon team just beat a double Charm team. Pretty crazy. Alright, into the next game here. Muck on the lead. Pretty neutral sort of matchup here. What I like to try and do, and what you'll see here, is I don't shield the first move. And the reason I don't shield the first move is because I don't want them to shield the first move. And people generally like to match shields where they can, especially in neutral matchups. So I didn't shield. I'm expecting him not to. And he doesn't. So what we can do is, yeah, basically get a couple of Dragon Breaths in and farm him down. He brings in Kingdra. Now, it's interesting. What I like to do here is I'm bringing in Empoleon. Now, it's not a great matchup because the Kingdra's double resisting the waterfall damage. So it's basically not doing anything. But the thing is, the Kingdra doesn't really hurt us too much either. So what I did was farm up some energy, get it down a little bit, then go into our own Kingdra with the objective of Dragon Breathing all the way down, which we're doing here, and we're going to shield. Now, we'll see what's in the back. And it's a grass type, it's Venusaur, which isn't good. But the thing is, Outrage does a lot of damage, and he'll know Dragon Breath will Dragon Breath him down from there. So he'll shield this, and that was great. And the attack fell, which is amazing. So the goal is here, we'll shield. And all we want to do here, because we know our Empoleon's got energy, all we want to do here is make sure we get the other shield. So we throw the Outrage, expecting them to shield. And that's what we're going to do here. Now this should get the other shield, and they've been debuffed, and yeah, this Frenzy plan won't KO, and we'll get the Drill Peck off and win the game. So yeah, just managed it pretty well there, even though we kind of lost the lead. We just got a bit of energy on both our Mon, and got them ready for the following matchups with shields down. Now, as far as the team goes, the Dragon Breath damage, as you saw, is terrific, and the waterfall pressure is great as well. So it's not a bad team. Hope you enjoyed the games. Until next time.